for coming on the Creator Series with Amar Wani. Uh, so Akshat is a friend of mine, and he is, as far as I know, if he's a painter, he's a curator of art. He organizes exhibitions. He organizes events where people come in. What do you call them? Where people get in together for a few days. The event that you last organized.
It's called the I Am Identity Art Marathon.
Yeah, it's called the Art Marathon. So Akshat organizes art marathons and events, exhibitions, curates events. So that is the context in which we are going to speak to Akshat. So Akshat, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Everybody, this is
Good to
uh,
see you.
this is a bizarre kind of time where all of us are spending time at home and lazing out. So this is the purpose of the series is to learn from people who are doing work that inspires them because there are very few in the world. I mean, it's a word there that a lot of people do a lot of work for success to for money, but I'm struggling to find people who do work that they find meaningful. So I'm literally hand picking people I'm talking to. Great. So to start with, tell us a bit about what do you do overall. I know you do a bunch of stuff in the art space. Tell me about what do you do and how long have you been doing it?
So, like most creative people, I'm a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
So, I'm a mechanical engineer, never really worked in my profession, but I did work in the corporate for about a decade.
Right.
And
So
then I
you
just, yeah.
okay. Okay.
So I thought, I worked and then I realized that I was just not enjoying life. And that realization that there's just one life just came one day and I decided to quit.
Mhm.
And I didn't know what I was going to do. I just quit, and that for about a year and a half, I really didn't do much. Then I
Mhm.
started writing. Then I discovered a canvas that was lying around, and
Right.
once I saw that canvas, I used to paint when I was really young. I did have a some I won some award in the Shankar's art competition also at some point of time. My mother used to paint, and I think that was the inspiration.
Okay.
Uh, so she used to push me to paint when I was young, and she used
Right.
to take me to gymnastics. She used to take
Right.
me for a lot of things. So this aspect of doing and trying new things and different things apart
Mhm.
from our academics was something that I did, at an early age. Dropped
Mhm.
off of school, college, and everything, and then when I was not doing anything, that's when all of these things started to come back into my life. I did
Mhm.
a diploma course in fine arts 1 year, and
Okay.
2009
You
onwards,
you did a diploma after you quit the job.
yeah. So in
Okay.
2008 to 2009, I started painting on that canvas, and I realized that I knew what I wanted to make, but I was not sure if what I was doing was technically, if it
Right.
could be done better.
Okay. Okay.
Art is very subjective, I knew that all the time, and I know it
Right.
more than anything else now. But
Right.
I still felt that there are technical aspects which a person should probably understand. So I did the
Mhm.
course,
Mhm.
and then I followed it up with four back-to-back exhibitions. And then I
Okay.
realized that I was again doing something run of the mill.
Okay.
So I needed to change. Then I
Right.
worked for a year on a solo show. I did that solo exhibition. Then I realized, that just doing these exhibitions was not really what I wanted to do in life also. Because
Right.
art was not something I picked up because that was my calling. That was
Okay.
something I wanted to do at that moment. I still
Right.
continue to do art, but now I'm more involved in the management of events and things that I want to curate. And when I mean curate, I want to put together things like you've been a part of the I Am Identity Art Marathon that I was talking about, right?
Mhm.
So which is a platform that I want to create where
Mhm.
people from all walks of life come and experience all
Mhm.
sorts of arts. Because I
Mhm.
think we've become so individualistic, we've
Mhm.
forgotten that to know more about your own self, you need to experience more.
Mm, right. So now you are into more into curation and less of creating art.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, okay. But tell me, just take me through it as an absolute newcomer. As a naive person who doesn't understand how artists, painters per se,
Hmm.
make money, right? Let's say somebody were to pursue painting as a profession. Uh, what should they be doing? How do they do it?
So there are two things about it. One part is creating the painting, the second part is selling it, right?
Mm.
But for a lot of people, the challenge comes that what they create is not something that they can find a buyer for, or they
Okay.
can find an avenue to put it out to people also. You've
Okay.
created some artwork, it's lying in your studio, it's lying with you.
Right.
Nobody gets to know of it. Although we are in a digital, revolution right now,
Right.
where it's so easy to, send it across the world anywhere, and anybody can pick it up from anywhere. But
Right.
still, the challenge still exists in finding the right person for your work.
Mm.
The other
Mm.
way a lot of people work, which I feel defeats the entire purpose of creating an artwork, is they start creating for a hypothetical buyer
Mm.
or a
Mm.
market that they perceive that this market exists.
Mm.
Uh, me making this specific colors or this kind of an painting or this form of painting or this image per se, because a lot of religious images become a part of
Yeah.
the language of an
Right.
artist
Right.
because they sell well. I mean, but
Right.
I simply do not understand if that is
Mm.
actually art that is being sold.
Mm.
Because art should be an activity in which the artist and what is being created is very personal and remains there.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
But yeah,
Okay.
to exist, you need to. So a third thing is where people, a lot of artists I know, do two type of paintings or
Mm.
two type of works. One
Mm.
work is what they feel is something that they want to be involved in, and
Mm.
the other is purely commercial, in which they realize that this is something that I create and I put
Right.
it out there as a product, and the
Right.
product sells.
Right. Right. But as a buyer of art, let's say people who want to buy it, where do they buy it?
So again, there are two, three different things. So a painting or an artwork which is in a range of up to about 30, 40, 50,000 rupees could probably be sold directly also, even
Okay.
without the galleries getting involved. You know, the buyer would not necessarily be somebody who is a collector. I'm not saying that collectors don't buy something which is cheap. If they
Right.
like something, they do buy it. But the
Mm.
collectors, unfortunately, at least in India, and I
Mm.
think it holds true for a lot of international collectors as well, they
Mm.
buy names.
Mm.
The works or what is depicted on that artwork
Mm.
does
Mm.
not necessarily have to connect with them, right?
Okay.
So when
Okay.
collector is buying,
Mm.
they are either buying through an interior designer or
Mm.
they've got an art management or an art consultant who's suggesting it to them, or
Mm.
there is a gallery who's suggesting it to them.
Mm.
In the last decade or so, yes, there has been a spurt in trying to buy and promote contemporary art, which is the
Mm.
young art and the young artists and everything. But I
Mm.
feel that the only reason primarily that's happened is because they're cheaper.
Mm. Mm.
I mean,
Okay.
again, not to say that what the works that are being created are not good enough, but I have a feeling that they're not allowed to ferment. They're not allowed to brew properly before they come out as an end product.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
So
So what is cheaper? What do you mean cheaper? So I don't know. So for example, when somebody, what are the big names in art in India right now?
I mean, people still buy the masters.
Mm.
Still the Tayyab Mehtas, the Razas, the Souza, Hussain, they all
Mm.
they command a certain price, which could
Yeah.
be in crores.
Right.
A print of Hussain would cost somewhere around lakh and above. It's a
Okay.
print. It's not
Right.
even the original. It could be a digital print. A few of his serigraphs also, which could be very small, could be selling for something as lakh, 2, 3 lakhs or something like that. But a
Right.
but a but a work would probably sell in crores. Now the
Mm. Mm.
difference is, if you look at the contemporary names and the ones who are doing well, Subodh
Mm.
Gupta was one such person who really, made a mark for
Yeah.
himself. Shilpa Gupta is there. There are many more in
Mm.
India who are really making a mark for themselves. But
Right.
again, there is lobby, unfortunately, which manages these names.
Okay.
I, in my practice as a curator, have tried to always bring out artists who I feel are at the cusp of breaking into the market
Right.
just by sheer their own technique in their work, and not
Right.
because somebody else has been promoting them. I see that they are new in their approach
Mm.
and they are dedicated to it.
Right.
And that's one thing that I try to look out for. Age does not matter, because the age of an artist
Mm.
is not necessarily reflective of uh, how much they have actually worked upon. Where do
Nice.
they lie in their mental capacities also?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they could have been like a 20-year-old artist could be working for, let's say, 10 years, maybe. I mean, people are
Yeah,
starting very early these days.
yeah, that too. And then they could be working daily for 8 to 10 hours to 20 hours,
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's how much
Yeah.
you devote yourself to your art and how much you indulge in it.
Mm.
Because the more you indulge, the more you realize what is futile and what makes sense to you. And then you
Mm.
pick from it and keep. So it's like a sculpture. The more you chisel out,
Right,
the better it is for you. But it
right,
will always be an artwork in process.
right,
For an
right.
artist, his art is always in process.
Right, right. Makes sense. I agree with that. I agree with that. Tell me about the curation events that you do. So basically, when you do these events, does somebody commission it, or do you approach people? How does the investment and ROI work for that?
So different events have a different approach.
Right.
So like the Identity Art Marathon is purely my initiative. I fund it, I organize it, I plan it, I sponsor it also. I do a lot of most of the creatives and everything is also done by me. Although
Wow.
I have friends who help me out, and in the last edition, at least we had Shrikant Sablania, Churma. So he was
Right.
the one who was doing all the art
Right.
part. I hired interns. I paid the interns to be there through those, because it's a 24-day marathon. It's not,
Wow.
and we had 40 plus events. So to
Huh.
coordinate, and how I do it is I speak to people directly. I talk to them. I try and understand what they want to do. What is the best thing that they can, do within this. I am not necessarily in a capacity to pay people to come and perform also, because we had performances as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so we had Insider as one of our partners, and then we would put a link on Insider, getting people to pay for it. We had free events and we had events which were paid, and we would
Mhm.
split with the performer or the artist, whoever is involved. So that would take care of some of the parts. The gallery would have to be booked, because all
Right.
these things would happen inside one gallery space. There were
Right.
4 exhibitions happening. So 4 exhibitions, as in 6 days each. So four
Mm.
solo exhibitions is what I try to
Mm.
organize. While
Mm.
the art is, occupying the walls, the
Mm.
space in the gallery is occupied by all other art forms. So kind of
Yes.
juxtaposing multiple forms of art together. So that's
Right.
what, and that's how the logistics and the funding happens of that event itself. But then when
Mm.
you compare it to something like, so there was to be, I'm hopeful that it will happen in the future. The Faridabad Art Fest, which was to happen at the Suraj Kund. So
Mm.
this was to happen in March
Right.
event,
Yeah.
obviously.
Now
But
everything is
that
cancelled.
was
Yeah.
something I hired as a curator. They brought me on. They were paying me to be a curator. It was a participatory, uh, you know, they had to, I mean, the artist who would be exhibiting would have to pay a participation fee, which was
Right.
as 11,000 rupees for 3 days.
Oh
They
wow.
were
Okay.
trying to put up, so rather than put up, so you know how Suraj Kund is, right? They've got huts and it's all scattered.
Yes,
And
I know. Yeah.
so I went there and I discussed with the organizers. We were trying to put up a walk through, a proper walk in which each stall would become a solo show of each artist,
Ah.
not to have
Okay.
one artist in one. And around 50 is what we were planning. So each
Wow.
artist also gets my services. So I would have catered as a curator for each of one of those 50 artists. How to
Right.
display the works to exhibit, what price to put it on, how to promote it. So all that would have been done, but I was going to be paid for it.
Ah, nice. Okay, that's the other model. Great. And how do you just now that you mentioned it, how do you put a price to a piece of art? What price? Like how much does it cost to create it? And what price do you put? Let's say, what price do you put? It's abstract, right?
Price to create it is very difficult if you look only at the materials, because
Yeah,
the materials probably, I mean, if somebody is making a charcoal sketch, the charcoal stick is about what, 10 rupees, 15
yeah.
rupees, and the paper is about 8 rupees or 5 rupees.
So
So
nothing.
you can't call it on only on the basis of materials.
Yes,
Even if you
yes,
look at the artist's caliber as to how
right,
much time he's putting in, because the price of an artwork will always be a very abstract term, and it
right.
can keep changing,
Hmm.
right? So when you try and figure out what are the essentials that will impact the price of an artwork,
Hmm.
who the artist is, where
Hmm.
does he or she lie in their in their journey as an artist, how long have they been practicing, where all
Let's
they
say
have
beginner.
existed.
Let's say a beginner who's putting his first exhibition.
People putting up their first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth exhibition, I would suggest get your works out there on walls, get your works out there with people, because when people talk about your artwork, it's
Right,
much, and then you create an artwork and it stays with you. Makes no sense, right? It
right.
just keeps building up as your inventory and it starts to bog you down also. So
Huh,
my
huh,
suggestion to all beginners would be, rather
huh.
than thinking our first works are never our masterpieces, but
Right.
they are very close to us
Yes.
because they are first creations that we've made.
Yeah.
So either you keep the first few with yourself and say that they are going to remain with me, they are mine forever, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
they have no value and no cost that you put to them.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
when pricing your artwork and you
Yeah.
want to put it out there for sale as well, and nothing like a boost,
Hmm.
an appreciation. The best appreciation, somebody pays for your work, takes
Yeah.
it home and puts it on their wall,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
that connection and that financial appreciation is definitely a big boost for any artist to continue their practice.
Right. Right.
So it depends again, what kind of a work you've created, because the market has its, sort of things, kitne size ki hai, 2 by 3 foot ki painting hai, or is it something which is on paper? Is it on canvas? Are you using
Yeah.
oil? Are you using, what kind of material you've used? So somewhere there is, say, around 100 rupees per square feet. I know it sounds very, bad. It sounds very, very banal, and it sounds very,
Yeah.
very bad
Yeah.
what you're doing. But then,
Huh.
I think rather than trying to take it on your ego, it
Huh.
would be easier to just put it out there, say $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, depending again where you're exhibiting. If you're
Yeah. Yeah.
exhibiting still at the College of Art, say Delhi, and
Right.
it's your final exhibition, somebody walks up to you. What's the point in trying to sell it for $50,000?
Right.
We are in a situation, I mean, not even looking at Corona situation,
Yeah.
and not even considering demonetization. Even
Yeah.
if you go back 5 years, the art industry was not necessarily doing too great in India
Yeah.
also, worldwide
Yeah.
also, because
Yeah.
the investment has kind of dropped off. A lot of
Right.
people are not buying, right? Who's
Huh.
your buyer?
Right.
Who's going to buy somebody's work who has just come on the market, right?
Correct. Okay.
I think it
Okay.
would either be somebody who's an art consultant who's trying to pick up only young artist works. That's one.
Hmm.
So they
Hmm.
would want to buy cheap and sell for follow for a lot so that they can make their commission. That's one. The
Hmm.
second is either the person who's just bought a home and is
Hmm.
looking for put something, just something that they like, rather
Hmm.
than anything else, right? So between
Yeah.
the two of them, I think you're getting a lot of mileage for what you have created. So
Makes
why
sense.
not just sell at a price? So I mean, labor, you can never really put a cost to it right now.
Yeah.
And the more
Yeah.
you create, the more you will learn.
I
So
understand.
for an
And
artist, that,
yeah.
that earning should actually, at least in the start, we should try and keep it to ourselves that rather than making money out of it, the more
Hmm.
works I can create,
Hmm.
it's better for my understanding as to, because the more you experience your own art practice, the
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
you are the more you are aware of what your likes and dislikes are.
Correct, correct. That makes so much sense because what you said about, putting it out, putting your stuff out. Uh, a lot of people actually write books and they die with those books because nobody publishes them.
Yeah.
Because it's a story. It's quite a story. There's so many people because the reason I put Happiness in Your Skin out because I've been trying to get a book published for the last few years. And I was so frustrated. I was like, dude, these publishers, because I'm not a big name right now, they wouldn't publish it and put the book out. and the appreciation I've received for it is just amazing. And I'm trying to figure out how to put the rest of the books out. It so makes so much sense. So whatever art you create, it's important to figure out how to put it out. Even if you self do it, self publish it, or put it out your own cost, just put it out, right?
Absolutely. If you, I mean, who's going to commit to your art more than yourself?
Yeah, yeah.
You're the best judge also. I mean, unless somebody is keeping blinkers on and don't want to be realistic about what they've created.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
your own
Hmm.
creation, right? It's your own
Right.
creation. You love
Right.
it more than anything else, but you somewhere know what is the value of it. And I'm
Right.
not
Hmm.
just talking in terms of financial, but also in
Right.
terms of what is the utility of it
Makes sense.
for anybody else. So
Right.
once you are the person who knows best, you are the person who's best at promoting it also.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So
Cool.
I
So,
was in touch with this guy. I mean, so it was great to have, I mean, have your readings of Happiness in Your Skin and few of those
yeah.
uh, residency that I was doing, and then you did those. And it was really nice for the people. And I hope you appreciated that the artists were also keen to learn things or just experience things which are different. I
Yeah.
also worked with Dr. Rahul Chawla. So he was coming out with, he's a doctor in Safdarjung Hospital, and
Mm,
he writes books on medical books and everything apart from that. Pretty young guy,
mm,
but he was writing a book, a fiction, a revolutionary love story and all. So he reached
mm,
out to me for the covers and everything. He went ahead, he's published it. It got through Yugam. It's in Hindi. He got
mm.
something, but obviously, how much can a small publisher promote you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see the way I see you promoting your book everywhere, which you have to do because you
Mm,
are the one who created it. Nobody else is interested in it.
yeah. Yeah.
HarperCollins could have printed it, but they won't promote you
Right.
as much as you can promote yourself. And
Right.
that's the thing which is important for any artist. You got to
Yes.
promote yourself.
Right. Right. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Talk a bit about creativity. You mentioned that creativity is important for self-awareness.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
I think experiences are very important.
Mm,
What we do, our identity. Let's start with identity, which is again something that I speak about in my art marathon also.
yeah. Yeah.
Identity, I feel and believe that is simply the sum total of our experiences,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
And our
Yeah.
experiences are unique to us because of the environment that we've been in
Mm, yeah.
and the awareness with which we have tried to understand the environment.
Mm, mm,
There's so many times that we go through life not realizing what is happening around us because we are so full of ourselves. So
yeah.
rather than we are looking out, we're not looking, but to look in, you have to be aware of what is around you and how others perceive you.
Mm,
So I
mm,
think all of these, this ability to at yourself from the outside and judge yourself with creativity is that spark that allows you to do all these things.
mm,
Creativity is just making a painting, making the best hyper realistic painting. It could be just making a good cup of tea.
mm.
Anything in which you involve yourself with awareness.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Right? So creativity is also about understanding what are your limitations, goals, and understanding that you need help from outside as well, from others. So you need learnings, you need courses, you need teachings, you need to talk to people, you need to get different perspectives to
Right.
overcome your shortcomings. So
Mm-hmm.
when I go to a guru, now a guru could be anybody. He could be a teacher, he could be a child, he could be anybody
Mm,
that I'm interacting with. But I believe that that person has something that can be of use to me. And probably these are bad words in the current context where people feel that selfishness is bad. I believe selfishness is very important. When you are selfish, you are aware that you have to be creative for yourself and not for the other person. It's again that same comparison when the artwork is being created for a market, or the
Mm,
artwork is being created because you literally do not have any other option. You have to let it out of yourself, because
mm,
once you've created it is the only way that you can look at it in the physical sense.
yeah,
You've
yeah.
imagined the painting. Now that imagined painting has to manifest itself in front of you on the canvas as a sculpture, on a paper, wherever you want, on a wall. But you've
Mm,
got to put it out there, only then are you satisfied or dissatisfied with what you have created. And only judge to
yeah.
be able to compare what and what you've created. So this
Mm,
creativity is creation and germination, but only through awareness.
correct. Otherwise, you can't create. If you're not aware, you can't create.
There's so many artists who I feel have created such a wonderful piece of art, and I
Mm,
talk to them and I realize that what I found to be amazing in that piece of that artwork, they have no inkling that that exists there. They
okay.
have no understanding. I mean, and I'm not saying that I am the superior person that I have seen and they've not. I'm just worried that they do not even know, because they're not aware of their own skills. They're not even aware of what they are creating, why they are creating, the narratives that are forming within their artwork.
Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Okay.
That awareness needs to be there.
Mm,
So
mm.
that
That
that's
makes
what I
sense.
how I feel that creativity and awareness, they are things that they go hand in hand, and
Mm,
they follow each other. It's like a
mm,
walk. Take the left step forward, then the right step forward, and then each have to follow each other. The more you
mm.
create, the more you're aware. The more you're aware, the better you're able to create.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the difference between paintings, I guess, and let's say poetry, maybe,
Yeah,
where what I say, what I'm trying to say, I want you to interpret the same thing. But in case of paintings, it could be different, right? That what I'm trying to say, maybe you interpret something different. No?
yeah, absolutely. Because the language, say you've written a poem in English, right?
Yeah.
That language itself has certain meanings which are fixed.
Right.
You try as you may, you might have used different similes, different order of words to put it
Yeah.
out there to give a different meaning, which is very personal. Or there is a subtext which is not probably understandable to the other person, but they will get a certain meaning which is obvious.
Yeah.
In a painting or in a sculpture, which is more abstract, or an abstract sculpture or any other art form, uh, it becomes difficult for the layman to understand and to respond to it, because this grammar and the language has never been explained to anyone,
Mm, mm,
right?
mm,
And because of this high art and low art, it is even more difficult to understand it, because even artists do not want to take that extra step to help out as to tell the allow the person who's viewing this to be able to understand what's happening within that.
mm,
Having said, I
mm,
believe that artwork has two journeys or two life cycles. One life cycle is when the artwork is being created and there's a dialogue between the artist and the artwork.
mm,
That does not necessarily leave the studio or the workspace. That
mm,
stays and dies
mm.
or remains with the artist to remember and be fond of.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah.
life cycle is when the artwork has been put, say, on a wall of a gallery or an exhibition, or somewhere as a cover of a mobile screensaver or whatever.
Mm,
And from that time on, each person who looks at that artwork will probably have a different response to it. Because what we
mm,
see in these abstract forms, even if it
mm,
is a hyper-realistic image of, say, Narendra Modi there, I will see what are the textures within it. I will see something which is behind it. And
mm,
you might just focus on the glasses, and somebody might just focus on whatever the expression is and whatever. So each person will pick up where they are in their life, what is
mm,
their thought process at that very point of time when they're looking at that artwork. So that
mm.
life cycle is beyond our control,
Yeah.
and which is also an interesting thing. I personally feel that's very interesting for an artist to probably come to know how
Yeah.
people come to their artwork.
Yeah. It could go anywhere, and one should be open to that wherever it goes. That is true.
True, true. So, like
Mm.
in,
Mm.
so you write a poem, you read it out into, I would
Yeah.
say, an open mic, or you just read it out to people, or you do an Instagram live. People
Huh.
send in responses, thumbs up, and love it and whatever. Then there are those people who will take a little bit of an effort to actually tell that they like this part, or they feel
Right.
that this could have been done better. And then
Right.
there'll be the critics who will slam you and whatever. But
Yeah.
these are all things that you get immediate responses to, and they are not just being subjective.
Yeah.
The language is generally understood.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. So briefly, just like we'll just quickly wrap it up. Talk a bit about you. So how long have you? When did you quit your job, Akshat? How many years?
2006.
2006. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it's been about 14 years since you quit being a mechanical engineer, right?
No, I mean, so I became a mechanical engineer the moment I finished I did my BTech and then my MTech,
You
which I
you
finished.
stopped you stopped becoming a practicing mechanical engineer in 2006, right?
The last job that I had was I had my own consulting firm for HR.
Okay.
So I were into recruitments. So that was the last work that I was, involved in an office setup.
Right. Right.
That was
Right.
2006.
Hmm.
2008 is when I did my art course, and then beyond that, it's been exhibitions, and I've been involved in a lot of different things. I've taken exhibitions from India to Russia. I've
Hmm.
hosted Russian artists. I've done international exhibitions here. I have painted also. Thankfully, I've done one of my own solo shows, and I was
Yeah.
working towards that. Last year that I will only work on my own solo show and not pick up any more assignments, because assignments take a toll, and then you get busy in that. And for creativity, again, creativity in terms of being able to understand what I want to create and why do I want to create this series of artworks, which I
Hmm.
plan to then subsequently show as an exhibition to people.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of interesting things kept coming up, and I postponed it. And now, although I have a lot of time on my hands,
Hmm.
supposedly,
Hmm.
right now, I just don't feel like doing anything right now. Being a little
Okay.
sap creatively, per se.
Yeah, I understand those. We have those periods. So what has been so in this entire journey of what 12 something years since you started doing
Yeah.
since you did this course, left your job and everything, how
Yeah.
has been this journey? What would you say to people who may want to pursue art, any form of art, in their life? What does this mean to you? Should they do it? Should they not do it? How should they go about it?
So, uh, why does a person want to pursue art? I think
Hmm.
that's a very good question, and that should be answered by the individual themselves. If
Hmm.
they're planning to make money out of it, I mean, all the best to them. I'm not sure this is the best way to do it, to make money in life.
Hmm.
Although art can allow for a lot of other uh,
Akshay, just to check your connection. I
sorts
think I'm
of
losing you.
work,
Yeah.
like uh, uh, I can
Hello.
see you.
I can see you, no, but your voice got scattered there when you started answering this question. I Now it's fine.
It's better now. I mean, can you
Yeah,
hear me properly?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah,
Okay. So,
yeah,
do you want me to readdress the question, or
yeah. Please answer the question because the voice got scattered where you started.
okay?
Hmm.
I forgot the question in the meantime.
So the question was, so if somebody,
Yeah, yeah. So if
uh,
somebody wants to get into art, I
yeah,
mean, how?
yeah, right,
So I was just saying that if somebody is trying to get into art for money's sake, I'm not sure that this is necessarily the best profession to be in to make a lot of money. It's not
okay,
easy. It looks easy. It's not easy, because to
right,
find work, getting those clients to pay for you even when you do your freelance and commission works, it can really get, take a toll, and they're not coming every day. So you've
right,
got to really push for it. So you've got to market yourself, you've got to promote yourself, and you've got to keep creating something which is uh, not just comparable, but better than anybody else. So you've got to
right,
keep innovating. So
right.
it will take a lot of effort. So if you want to do it for money, be really motivated by money. There's nothing wrong in that. But
Hmm.
your motivation should be clear to you. If
Hmm.
your motivation is to So in that money thing only, I wanted to say that as an artist, you can probably pick up side works as well. You know, a lot of people do illustration works. They do animation. They do 2D works. They do sketching. They do portraits. They do
Right.
commission works. They find alternate sources of income using the
Yes.
same tools that they have.
Right.
And
Right.
by doing that, they are able to also concentrate on, because your materials will cost, your
Right.
food will be a cost to you, and you
Yeah.
need to generate funds.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're, if you, I know a lot of artists who are not necessarily moved by money. They just need that the money should be there for the basics that, you know, so the materials are taken care of, rent is taken care of, and, you know, basic food is taken care of. So they
Right.
squeeze वो चादर उतनी चादर के हिसाब से पैर अपने फैलाते हैं. But at
Ah.
the same time, they can learn more about themselves by creating as much as they can. They try
Ah.
and find cheaper materials, cheaper opportunities. They find people that they can talk to, because talking to people and discussing what your art is also finding that pool of friends or critics or peers who can help you to understand what you're doing, and
Mm,
trying to understand that is a very important thing. And
mm,
no amount of money can actually get that to you.
Right.
So that is that network you and an artist should create for themselves.
Okay.
There are different models to put your art out there. There are a lot of online platforms that you can use. You can create your own website, which is not very expensive these days.
Mm,
You have websites which you can create on your own as well. So
mm,
that's not very expensive. You can
mm,
put it out on Facebook. Facebook itself has a marketplace. You can do Instagram lives. What people are doing right now is they're trying to put a lot of their uh, how to do things videos out there. So they are actually creating an artwork. They might be making a watercolor painting and all. So they will put the tutorials out there, and people can join their online classes.
mm,
There are different ways of marketing yourself. You can
mm,
always reach out to a gallery at some point
mm,
of time, share your
mm.
works with them,
Right.
and galleries, and, you know, they can tell you, they can advise you in terms of, will they take you as somebody that they will be promoting, or they will only buy a few works, test it out with their list of clients, and then see if it is something that they want to be
Sure.
involved.
Sure. Sure.
Or
Sure.
you could start looking at grants. There are international grants, there are grants in India, there are scholarships available from, even from Lalit Kala Academy. There are private institutions and foundations which support them. So be on the lookout, look for it. And if this artist is a young artist, and they don't have a lot of liabilities in terms of, they don't need to take care of a household, they're not
Right.
married, they have the ability to move around. I know Corona has put a lot of stop on that, but I would really suggest people to travel. So
Mm,
traveling, not necessarily on your own money. There are a lot of residencies, international residencies, which give you even an opportunity where they will pay for your travel, for your stay, and for the
mm,
materials. So you
mm,
can
mm.
fly to Madrid, or you can fly to Australia, you can fly somewhere else. Go there. If you cannot fly out, go to, you know, some places in India, go to Jaipur, Udaipur, any Khajuraho, any of those places who are hosting some kind of residencies where they
Mm.
offer you money also for doing that.
Right.
What
Right.
that also gives you an opportunity to look at new places, new people, new cuisines, new languages, new engagements, new experiences. And then
Nice.
you look at other artists also working. They could be from different countries, so they will have their own practices, which you can probably understand and imbibe also. Or you could
Mm.
just see how they do and continue to do what you do. But you have a
Right.
comparison.
Right. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. So there are avenues available, and just need to decide what your motivations are. Great. All right, Akshay. So I think that's it. It has come to a logical conclusion by itself. I think it was you have clearly done a lot of work in the last few years, and you clearly have a lot of depth in the way you talk, man. So I'm glad you're my friend. And hopefully, when people watch this discussion, they will be able to learn something not just about creativity and art, but overall the process of thinking, how to approach art per se, right?
Yeah, art has to liberate us, right, as humans.
Yes. 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 Nice. Great. All right,
So
Akshay.
for
Thank.
doing these series, yeah, I think they're very important. Let's do
Sorry.
these series. I'm
Yeah, this is
saying
a good.
thank you for doing it.
Thank you. Thank you, Akshay. Bye.
Yes, bro.